Hi everyone, my name is Nye and welcome to the Harvest. Today we're going to be talking about meal planning. Yay! Um, Meal planning is a huge part of how I keep my home and life and mind just a little bit more organized and comfortable. Um, so that's what I'm going to be talking about today, just to get you guys started with starting meal planning and letting you know how I got into it, and really just putting a lot of time into um, letting you guys know how to get started, because I've had so many people just come up and ask me like how if I can teach them how to meal plan. Well, here I am teaching. It does not take that long to do. Um, it just meal planning really just it gets rid of that tiresome question that, Mom, what's for dinner? What are we having for dinner today? And you're all at home at work and thinking about what are we gonna make for dinner. This completely takes care of that question entirely. Now you have so much more brain space to think about other things, other stuff you can do and accomplish without having to worry about what you guys are having for dinner. Like, I still cannot stand having to figure out what we're going to have for dinner. But meal planning takes care of all of that. And the way that I do my meal planning in general makes it so that I don't have to worry. I don't have to worry about, I'm not worried about next week. I meal plan for the entire month. I sit down, I spend about 1 hour, hour and a half, sometimes just depending on how meticulous I'm being about the meal plan. And I write down every dinner we are planning to have for the entire month. So that way, I don't have to worry about it. Now I'm going to start going over stuff by week. So a lot of, sometimes meal planning for people who've never done it before can be kind of intimidating. I know it was for me, especially with under the circumstances which I chose to learn meal planning. Um, it just seems a little hectic. It seems crazy, and that's why a lot of people don't stick to it. But if you can commit to doing 20 minutes a week to build one meal plan, you'll save more money, you'll save more time, you'll have tons more energy. It will change how you operate in your kitchen, and it'll make a huge difference. So that's what I'm going to be talking about today. Now, meal planning typically takes anywhere between 30 minutes to about an hour and a half, and that just really depends on how meticulous you're planning on being with making your meal plan. I know there are some meals that I make that take like just organizing takes a little bit longer time for me to determine if that's something I want to make. And that's just because I am very meticulous with my meal planning. Like, yeah, I can whip out a meal plan in about 20 minutes. Just whipping it out. If that's what I was going to do, that's fine. And that's what you're doing. That's perfectly fine. 20 minutes for a full week's worth of planning, sure. That knock it right out. That makes perfect sense. Um, and I generally spend about an hour doing a meal plan because I plan for the entire month. So every day of the month, I know exactly what meal I'm planning for us to have, and then I take that plan and I use it to also coincide with my grocery shopping to keep my grocery budget in place as well. And that way, I'm not going over. I'm not going. Generally, I try to stay under budget, but my meal plan helps me to maintain the budget and stay within the budget. It works out so well. It's just that's probably one of my favorite parts of meal planning. Besides the getting rid of the headache of not knowing what you can cook, what you have at home, what you want to do. You know what's going on. You know exactly what you're gonna have. You know exactly what you need to get from the grocery store, and you can pretty much estimate how much it's going to cost you before you even walk out the door to do your shopping. Now you know that you have all the ingredients for everything you plan on making that week, and you already know what's going on. You don't have to worry about it or question it, or you can think about something else. Now you can think about what the sale that's going to be happening or whatever is going on with that, instead of focusing on what you're going to have for dinner. So one of the things that I really enjoy about meal planning is the fact that you are able to just save a bunch of money. I love saving money. I love saving money so much, it's ridiculous. Um, when you create a meal plan and you stick to your meal plan and you use your meal plan as a guideline for your grocery shopping, you're able to stay within your budget because you're only buying what is on your meal plan. The ingredients that you need to make the meals that you're making for that week. Perfect sense. And of course, any other stuff that you need to buy for your household for that particular time frame that you're shopping for. But either way, now you're not guessing. You're not going, oh, okay, well, let me grab this pack of hamburger meat because I could make this, or let me grab this, and then getting home and realizing that, oh, I wanted lasagna instead of, spaghetti, but I don't have lasagna noodles now. Like that's where the differences come in. Now you're saving time, money, energy, all that, just to make everything a little bit easier. And all it takes is a little bit of time, a little bit of focus to get everything going. Now, when I got started meal planning, I was super worried about what was going to happen after Nova was born. And Nova's my daughter. She's 4 years old. And she's my first, so I had no idea how I was going to be after I had her and what we were going to eat. I had no clue because obviously I wasn't going to be standing in the kitchen making dinner every night after I just had a baby. It wasn't going to happen. And we didn't have a lot of family support that would be able to come help us with making sure that my family was eating during the time period that I was unable to get up and cook every day. Also, didn't want to eat a lot of fast food because we typically don't eat fast food. So that just was out of the question. So I started doing a lot of research on meal planning and meal prepping, and I found a ton of stuff on freezer meals, which I love freezer meals. We'll get into that in a different video though. But freezer meals and meal planning, and I determined that, if I'm able to make a meal plan and stick to this meal plan, not only will I know what we have, but I'll be able to utilize the stuff that we have already and know what we have coming, and that way it'll make things a lot easier and take a ton of pressure off of me so I can focus on other things like growing this little baby inside of me. Took off from there, and here I am still doing it to this day, and I am crazy about meal planning. So the very first thing that I did was take down a sheet of paper, and I wrote down a list, a super duper long list of everything that I knew how to cook. Now, every single item I know how to make did not make this list. I can promise you that. But a ton of stuff did. I wrote down a bunch of stuff that I knew that my family enjoyed, stuff that I enjoyed, anything I could think of, and I made the list. I made a list at least 50 or 60 meals long, so that way I had some variety. Now, my suggestion is to do that, but you don't have to do that because that's a lot of work to be doing to try to remember everything you know how to cook. But it was helpful to me because then I was able to look at that list and go, okay, well, I'll just put this here. Okay, and that's how I did my first meal plan. Now I don't do it that way as much because I have other meal plans I can reference if I need an idea. Oh, we haven't had this in a while. We haven't had that in a while. And typically my goals when I make a meal plan for the month is to never repeat a meal more than twice. It is very rare that we have any particular meal at all more than 2 times a month. And if we have something twice, actually that has been happening recently just because we have enjoyed certain meals a little bit more, so I've made them more often. But ultimately, I try not to repeat meals more than 2 times just because the variety of it all is made what is the whole reason I put an hour's worth of work into creating a meal plan for the month. So that way I'm not worried about us having, oh, we had this already, oh, we're having this again. None of that. I took all of that stuff out of the equation to make this as easy for myself as possible. So by not repeating meals that frequently, it makes it a little bit easier for us to try new things, to have different varieties of foods, vegetables, all that stuff. And it's a little bit more, functional. It's fun. I can cook and I can try new stuff and try it this way and try it that way and do a bit of different things without having to worry or stress about people being tired of it or people not eating it or trying, just exploring different things. And I love that portion of it. So the next thing that I did, I went online and I found myself a meal planner. Now, I'm going to go through my binder with you because my binder is my heart. And it has helped me through just, oh my goodness, planning meal plans is a lot of work. And because I enjoy it so much, I like to keep track of what it is that I've done. So this is my planner, my 2020 planner. Now, I have put links and everything on my blog, and there'll be links in the description box of this video of where I got my pages from because I like a specific page. I've even tried making my own pages, and I just did not like them because I'm a creature of habit, unfortunately. I love my pages. So I'm going to show you what my binder looks like. There is a table of contents on the front. Now, I will have more detailed photos of these in this video or in the description. You'll be able to see exactly what they look like. Now, I got my table of contents exactly from the same place that I got my entire planner pages from, but some stuff is a little bit different because I've been using them for so long. They changed their format, so now it's a little bit different. My very first meal plan is under the first tab. This is where I keep my weekly meal plans. this is my first meal plan. And as you can see, even though it is a little bit older, I was still very meticulous about it. I even have on here exactly how much everything was going to cost for me to create this weekly meal plan, and it came out to $52.11. And that's after I checked sales papers and everything, and meals that would freeze and meals that wouldn't freeze, and everything in between. And I just was super excited about it. So I continued to do this, and I went from there. Now, these meal plans I have from the very beginning, I don't tend to go back to just because my family is vegan now. So we don't use a lot of these, but I keep them because I've been able to recreate a lot of these meals and make them vegan. So we have a little bit of, something here and there. And I've used those to create recipes for my vegan cookbook, soon to come, to just make it so that making that vegan transition will be a little bit easier if you can feel like you're not missing out on anything. And actually, we don't miss out on pretty much anything, so it's worked out pretty freaking well. So then we have my weekly meal plans here. Oops. Weekly meal plans. This is I'll show you my pages for the weeklies specifically. Everything used to be in color, but it's all in black and white now, save ink, everything else. I have my kitchen conversion sheet. I have 2 of these. This is the one I keep in my binder. It has on there all types of kitchen conversions. So if you don't have, measuring cups specifically, or you have one, at one point I had 1 tablespoon and 1 teaspoon. That was all I had. There was nothing else, no cups or nothing. And I needed to know how I can, what conversions for these. And of course you can Google it, but having them on hand, like somewhere in your kitchen, is just very helpful. To have that in here. And then after that, you have my yearly calendar. It just shows the months and stuff on there. There's nothing special about it. So here's where I keep my monthly calendars. I have blank ones for this year, and then behind those I have meal plans that go back. In this particular binder, 2016. I'm sure I have some from previous in a different binder, but this binder goes back to 2016. And this is where I reference it. Instead of having to go to that really long list of meals that I've made over time, I just go here. Here's one from November of 2017. As you can see, it's fully filled out. And then if you check, so this is how I keep myself in order. I have a monthly meal plan page that I post on our family calendar so everyone can see everything. And then I have the weekly. I have 4 weekly pages that I pull out, and like the ones I showed you earlier, these right here. And I post these as well, so this way I'm able to see exactly what I have on for like what I need for groceries. Okay, so that's everything that my binder has in it. Now, what I did, if you check my blog, there's a whole post on this you can go through and see. And if you like the pages that I use the pages from Green Child Magazine. The woman who runs it updates the pages every few years or so, but I like my same pages, so I have plenty of copies specifically for this purpose. So I have examples of how you can set up your weekly meal plan versus your monthly meal plan. And you can check there, and it has individual instructions on how you can do that. But I'm still going to take you through it. I'm going to go over my my March meal plan with you, and I'm going to link another video with a time lapse on it that's going to show you exactly how long it took me to do our meal plan for April, because today is March 29th, and it's time for a new meal plan. This meal plan makes it super easy. It makes it a lot more helpful. And let me not say super easy, because it is not easy, but it is helpful, especially with like this current time that we're in. I can know what I need from the store. I know what we're going to have for meals. I'm not worried about what we're going to need, because the way that I plan everything, we will be able to get every single item that we need for our meal plan. Keep our diet together, keep us on track, keep us staying sane while we're inside. So I'm going to go over my March meal plan with you, just because it's the best one. It's already completed. You don't have to sit here and wait for me to go through everything and write everything down and be indecisive about what it is I want to feed us for the month. And now I'm going to you can just go through it with me. So basically I went through, and let me make sure I have the right weekly. This is the meal plan for the weekly. It's Sunday through Saturday. As you can see here, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. There's a space for notes. And here is the shopping list that is included on here. Now for this, what I ended up doing this particular week, on Sundays, I tend to do like a Sunday dinner style of meal. So we had pesto baked potatoes, we did a mac and cheese, baked beans, and I made a salad on the side. That was what we had for our Sunday dinner on March 1st. Then we did enchiladas and Spanish rice and fiesta corn on Monday, the 2nd. We did a mushroom stroganoff on the 3rd. That was Tuesday. On Wednesday, we did burgers and fries. On Thursday, we did mashed potatoes with gravy, and I did a couple other sides as well. But that's sometimes when I do a meal plan, the way I title them for the meals based off if it's like multiple components, it's something that the thing that takes the longest gets the title spot. I did a cabbage stew that Friday, and that Saturday we opted for takeout because mommy was tired. Now, when you do your meal planning, always make sure you include planning time to give yourself a day off. That is very important because when people do meal plans, and I did the same thing, when you do your first meal plan, you're like, I need to stick to this meal plan, but I don't feel like cooking. I've been working all day, I'm exhausted, the kids are running me ragged, I do not feel like cooking. We should just order a pizza. That's okay. That's perfectly okay. Because a plan is just a guideline. It's not, you have to do this. You have to stick to this particular thing. You have to do this. You have to do this. You don't have to do it like that. I always make sure I include at least anywhere between 2 to 3 days a month where I know for a fact I'm planning on not cooking. And sometimes it falls on like a Saturday or like sometimes it falls on a Wednesday. It just depends on how the week is going. Now, I don't do takeout once a week. I don't do that. But at least twice a month, I plan spaces that I do not plan on cooking. Okay, so when I do my meal planning, this is what I do to make this works out the best every single time you do it. And I'm not saying that I've done it this way every single time, but this is the way I try to stick to doing it because it makes the most sense and is the most effective. Now, for this particular day, this meal plan kind of late. So this day was already completed before I actually did it. Now, normally I would have done it the month before, and as you will be able to see in other meal plans that I have, every one of the days that you can see, if you can see this, have the date, the day of the day, what meal we're having, all the ingredients that we are going to need for that meal are listed in that spot. Regardless if we have them or not, they are here. So then I take this meal plan, check my inventory. If you check your inventory app or you go into your fridge, whatever, however you do. I just started using an inventory app like a month ago, and oh my God, it's made such a big difference. But before that, I just would go check my fridge, see what stuff I had, see what stuff I didn't have. And from there, then I add things to my shopping list. So if I say, for example, Monday we had enchiladas, Spanish rice, and fiesta corn. Say I didn't have cheese, or I didn't have tortillas, but there are things that I need on my meal plan for this meal. Well, I add them to my shopping list. So, and at the very top you see it says tortillas, because I needed tortillas right here. And then everything else that I needed for that meal that I did not have already in my fridge and cupboards, I just added to this list. So now I have a meal plan. My meal plan, all the meals are going to eat for the week. I know everything I need to make all these meals on my shopping list. And the last part of this is going to the store. If you're adequately planning and doing your meal plan on a regular basis, you'll have this set. So if you're doing it weekly and you shop weekly or bi-weekly, that'll work for this too. You can do 2 meal plans at once and do your shopping the same exact way. Do 2 meal plans, plan them out, get your shopping list together. This way, now you've also checked your inventory, so you know what stuff stuff you do need and stuff that you don't need that consists with your meal plan, and other stuff like I don't put like the kids' snacks or like if we need snacks or juice or something on my meal plan shopping list because that's not a part of my meal plan. Those are things that we are going to need, But those are two separate things. So as I have an already built shopping list, I take my shopping list and then I'll add to it the things that we need, like if we needed chips or juice or something like that. So then I'll have a completed list. I'm not using two lists when I go to the store. So that way I have everything and everything is covered, but I still have everything that I need and not forgetting anything. And this makes it so much more helpful because now you know you're going to the store to get exactly what's on that list. If you find something here and there, of course there's nothing wrong with that to add to your shopping cart, but you know exactly what you need. You don't need to, if you are sticking to a strict budget, you know exactly what it is you're going to need from out the store, where it is, and how much it's going to cost you if you are using this meal plan to map out your shopping with the sales papers, which I used to do that as well. That makes things a little bit harder because then you're trying to figure out which has the best sales and stuff like that. But people do that, and I did that. So you can use your meal plan to compare with the sales papers, and that way you can get the best deal. I used to do that too. A really long time ago, I used to take the sales papers and I would use the sales papers to map out where I was going to get which ingredients and where to get the best, to save the most amount of money. If you need to do that, do that. It is helpful. You save a lot of money doing that. It may be a little bit more time consuming, but if that's the best way for you to save your money, then you do what you got to do. Like that just is what it is. And there's nothing wrong with that. I comparing sales papers and making sure you get the best deals and stuff. Like if I can save, $1 on some vegetables, I'm going to go where the cheaper place is to get them from. I tend to do, when I do my shopping now, I tend to try to go the least amount of places as possible, but getting the best deal. So whoever has the most deals, the better deals, that's probably the place that I'm going. Now, if it's like half and half, then I will probably go to both places to get half and half because it just makes sense for me to save that money. Where we live, everything is really close together, so it doesn't make sense to me to not go over to this other store because, well, it's right here. Why not go save an extra 60, 20, 30, 40, $50 going across the street? That makes perfect sense. And do that. So then, there you go. You have your first meal plan. Couple minutes. Pick which meals you want. Determine what ingredients you need for them. And you don't have to be as, you can be as meticulous as to write down what seasonings and stuff you need. But because I keep a pantry of seasonings, as I know most of us do, I don't need to write down what seasonings I'm going to be using. But if I need certain stuff like milk to go in there, I do try to put that down because I buy, me specifically, I buy a separate container of milk for cooking and then a separate container of milk for if the kids want to eat cereal or something like that. Just because they eat cereal a lot. I don't want to be dipping into their cereal milk when I can have a smaller container because I don't use a ton of milk, but I would rather have it separate. That's just a personal preference of mine. Nobody has to do that. I'm just weird like that. But it's very simple to do a meal plan for the week. If that's what it just really just depends on you. If that's how you want to do it, it's perfectly fine. Do however you want to do it. You want to have chicken 3 nights in a row in 3 different ways? Do that. A huge thing that I found was really, really useful was cost effective is what I mean by useful. Finding ingredients you can use 2 and 3 times. I would buy chicken in bulk, and I would come home and I would package them. I would take huge family packed chicken and break them down, and I would separate them in the number of pieces of chicken I knew that my family was going to have, for whatever meal it was, and I would separate them. And I would put them in freezer bags, and then I would store them like that. So now, and that's, like I said, that's freezer meals. That's a whole nother thing. That's prepping and getting into that. But that's another way that you can use a meal plan to be cost effective. Now you have this huge family pack of chicken. Your family's only eat a portion of it at a time. Separate into 3 separate things. Label it for those meals, and then match those meals to the meals that you plan on. Match your meals to the things that you have in your kitchen already. That is going to be the best way to utilize everything that you have, not waste any food, save money. It's going to cover everything that you need in order to have a good, effective meal plan. Even now, I'm checking, as I'm getting ready to make my April meal plan, I have my inventory app open. I'm checking to see what stuff we have, what stuff we don't have, for the things that I'm going to be making. And I'm trying to utilize what we already have so that way we can spend less money. If I can take our grocery shopping and save even more money by utilizing stuff that we haven't used yet, we have My mom just got us. My mom gave us a bunch of asparagus, a huge container of asparagus. I do not know why. I'm very appreciative, but it was a big, big, big container. And I'm trying to figure out how many ways I can use this asparagus. And for that, I plan on freezing some of it. I've used some of it already. I've given some away. And I'm planning on finding a couple different meals. Now, we eat asparagus quite a bit, which is probably why she gave it to us in the first place. But not this. She gave us it was like 16 bunches of asparagus. So now I'm trying to figure out how many other ways I can utilize this asparagus before it goes bad. And that's going to be something I'm incorporating into my April meal plan. Doing things like that and getting in the habit of doing things like that is going to help you in the long run. Now, my March meal plan consisted of a variety of things. I try to do at least 1 or 2 days a week where we do some type of cultural meal where it's not necessarily from our background. We do like Mexican or Italian or Asian fusion or something like that. And a couple of the things that I did in March are actually on the site already. On the site, there's a couple of videos coming, stuff like the mushroom stroganoff, the cabbage stew. We did nachos for the first time. And oh my goodness, the nachos were amazing. And I'm in love with them because one of the meals I was really missing as a vegan is nachos. And I was able to have it, enjoy it, and it's really, really good. And it was super filling. Another one of the things I did was this spicy cauliflower. Oh my goodness, it was good and it's so pretty. I'll post links and everything when I'm done. But it was so great. There's a couple different things we tried this month that were different. We did traditional ramen where I made the broth. I spent quite a few hours making it to make sure it was just very, very hearty and filling, and it was great. So use your meal plan and get creative. Try some new things. I used to do 1 day a week where we tried something new, brand new meal, and that way not only does that add to the variety of meals that you're able to have in your meal plan, it also creates different palettes. It expands your horizons a little bit. It gives you a chance to learn something new, and now you have, especially if your family likes it. If your family likes something new that you added to your meal plan for your one new meal a week, now you can add that into your list of recipes. And then for the next month or next few weeks or whatever, you can just swap it out. You can continue to add new stuff, and that way you have a consistent flow of different and new meals to try when you're building your meal plan. And that I feel like is really important because a lot of people use a meal plan, then they get bored with it and they stop doing it. But like I said, the thing that is the very most important about building your meal plan is the consistency. If once you start doing it and you get in the habit of doing it consistently, however you do it, people use apps, you can write it down, you can use your calendar, do it however is going to be the most effective for you. Writing everything down has been the most effective for me, and that's why I've continued to do it year after year because it just makes sense for me. I have meal plans for years past now, and I will continue to have meal plans for years to come because having a meal plan changes the way that I utilize my thought process when it comes to feeding my family. And this has been the easiest way, the best way for me to be able to take something, organize it, and follow through with it. And I think that using a meal plan will make those same changes for other people and their families. So, hopefully this video is super helpful to you and anybody else who's interested in meal planning, any meal prepping and things like that. I plan on making a couple more videos as they relate to meal prepping, freezer meals. There's going to be there's a few recipes and things I've already done that I've been posting. You can check those out. Everything that we went over today. Meal planning is a hard thing to do, but it can be super simple. It takes a little bit of time, but 1 hour for 1 day for a 30 day time period gets you all set and squared away for everything you need in order to have a successful meal plan and meal planning experience. Um, Start by making a list of everything you know how to make, so that way it makes it easier for you to just pick meals to put into your meal plan. Use your meal plan, set a day, set one meal per day. Write down all the ingredients you need for each meal that you're writing down. Check your pantry to check and see stuff that you do have and stuff that you don't have that you need for that meal plan. The things that you don't have, the things that you will need, add them to your shopping list. Use your shopping list to guide you to make sure you get all the ingredients you need when you go to the store. And now you have everything that you need in order to make sure that your meal plan is successful. The biggest part of it is staying consistent and creating meal plans regularly so that you don't have to worry. If you make two at a time, now you're good for 2 weeks. If you make four at a time like I do, now you're good for the month. And all you have to do is look back and say, okay, well, this is what we're having for the month. This is what's on my shopping list, things that we need. Okay, cool. Go to the store, get everything you need for that 2 week period, 1 week period, whatever you're shopping for, and now you're good to go. Less stress, 1 hour. 1 hour of planning can just change the way that the rest of your entire month works. So I'm suggesting anybody who is interested in meal planning, take the time to really find your way. If you like the pages that I use, I have links for you to, if you can find them, you can use them, or you can find your own. There's plenty out there. You can make your own. If you can make your own, because that'll be the thing that works for you in the very best way possible. I suggest that everyone has a meal plan because it just helps them save money, helps them save time, it helps them utilize their brain capacity for something other than what are we going to have for dinner. So hopefully this video is helpful and you guys are able to take something away from it. If you have questions, if I didn't cover something accurately enough, just let me know so I can clarify what it is that I meant. And that way I can be as helpful to you as possible. I do plan on making a couple other videos that consist of more meal planning, meal prepping, freezer meals, vegan meals and recipes and things like that to assist you in your, the journey that you're going on, trying to get a little bit more organized and stress-free and a little bit more flourishy, floaty and things like that. So, if you like this video, please just give me a thumbs up. Hit subscribe if you like what I'm talking about. I will be posting more stuff, so you'll be able to get notifications on when that stuff comes in, and you can see what I'm talking about. And if it's helpful to you, share. Go ahead and let me know. Check out our Instagram page. Our website is theharvestblog.org. Check out our Facebook too, and let me know if there's anything you want to see me make. If you want to see how I made it vegan or any ways that I can help you guys to get on this meal plan boat and just ride this wave because it's great, it's fun, it helps you be creative, it helps open up your whole eating palette. Yeah. So if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to check out our Facebook, our Instagram. The webpage is theharvest.org. And remember to learn, grow, and flourish. Bye guys, have a good day.